Hello and welcome to Tune In, the official podcast of the British Association of Barbershop Singers. I'm Peter Bryant, I'm Bab's Director of Marketing, and I'm joined once again by my wonderful guest co-host, Alistair Lamyman.
Hi team.
Hello, Alistair.
Hi Peter.
How are you getting on?
I'm grand. Yeah, a lot's happened since last time I was here, so but yeah, it's all going very well.
When were you last here? Like March, April, something like that?
Yes, because we talked about Holland Harmony, right? Because I was going or had gone, I can't quite remember what order it was in, but yes, that was when we were last on here, and I thought I would see if we wanted to do another one, so here we are.
Yeah, very good, very exciting. So last time I recorded was with Simon Lubkowski, and it was just after the Babs convention, and we did a recap of our convention and the European convention as well, and a few other bits. So go back and listen to that if you haven't already. Pull over in your car and switch to that episode.
I actually listened to that yesterday, not in preparation
Did you?
for
Very
this
good.
at all.
No.
I just had
appeared
not
in your queue.
listened to it since, and that was entirely on me. And I was like, I'm going to listen to that, and then I did. So yeah, here I am.
Very good. Yes. So this time it's August 2025. The board had a month off. Was it in June?
Yes.
Goodness me. Yes. So we took June off. We had a little break after we'd sort of wrapped everything up after convention, and now we're back, and we have had a big planning meeting and a big budget meeting for our next sort of financial year, which starts in October. A couple of days ago we launched contest entries for quartet prelims, and of course we've had BHS International take place since last we recorded. So plenty to get into. What should we start with, Alistair?
Lot going on. So let's go in chronological order then. In that case, so if we start
Sounds good.
with BHS, because there's a lot to talk about.
You were there?
Yes. Famously.
In Denver, Colorado.
Yes. So why you would choose to host a singing competition in a city that is famously 5,000 feet above sea level is beyond me. And people talk about altitude like it's, and then it's like, yeah, that can't be real. That's fake. No, it's really quite real. I remember even like 4 or 5 days in, just trying to post something and just not being able to, because you just run out of air a lot quicker, which is wild. Just to contextualize this for, I'm assuming our majority British audience, the entirety of Denver is higher than Ben Nevis.
Whoa.
So in order to acclimatize in Britain, you would have to be up in Ben. Imagine living at the top of Ben Nevis for a week. That's how hot. That's how high Denver is. And
wow.
Yeah, you obviously can go higher if you go into the mountains, but
yeah, or into a skyscraper.
Yes, quite. So
for example,
it's very high up, but very excellent convention all round. I think, and now I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just going to say it like it's true. That seems to be par for the course these days. But I believe this was probably the most British attendees as individuals at any BHS convention thus far.
Yeah, not necessarily the most British groups, because I think that was 2023, wasn't it?
Yes.
But yes, the most British individual
physical
contestants
attendees. Yes, because so this year, for those not in the know, Britain as a nation sent 3 choruses to BHS. So Babs sent Lux a Cappella, and again, Lux a Cappella has about 950 members. But no. The Lux a Cappella does have around about 100 plus members, I believe, and I want to say that they sent 80 people, or around 80 people. In fact, I should know this because Simon was talking about it on the podcast that I listened to a day ago, and I've already forgotten. But it's somewhere between like 80 and 90 people from Lux a Cappella attended, and then from Labs you had Cheshire Chord Company and Amersham a Cappella the 2023 and 2024 champs, and they probably took between sort of 45 and 60 people each. So it was kind of nice in a way.
Yeah, and then all the quartets as well.
And then of course we also
which we'll get to. Yeah.
Yeah, we can go on to quartets in it, but it was wild in a way for me, because when I went to my first BHS 4 years ago, I think I knew about 3 people, and all of them were my like AIC members who I'd maybe met at Babs or like seen on the telly one time. But then going to BHS this time around, knowing about 200 people, it felt a little bit like a Babs convention, or it felt like a British convention, which was so much so there was
Nice.
even an event that they hosted called the Brit Bash, where all of the British groups got together. A few quartets came and sang some songs for us. It was great. They had a spectacular MC, me, obviously.
That was you. Yeah. You're just like the default MC for any event that you attend now, aren't you?
Yes, it would seem so. Yes. I have carved out that niche. There is a section in the back of the BHS program which is for MCs extraordinaire. And I don't care about getting a BHS gold medal. I want to be recognised as being MC extraordinaire. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, very good representation from our choruses for sure. Yeah, agreed. Great contest results from them as well. It was amazing because Cheshire Chord Company and Amersham a cappella, the 2 Labs choruses, came directly next to each other on the score sheet. Like very, I to the point where I can't even remember which one did slightly better, but there was a very, very tiny score gap between the 2 Labs choruses, which was great. And I think they scored in like the 82s or something, didn't they? Correct. I want to say it was like 82.6 and 82.7 or something of that nature, which I said I would look things up, and I'm going to now actually look things up whilst we're talking, so I make sure that we are... I don't insult someone on a live
and Amersham did their like Queen set, which they did at Labs last year. So good old fashioned Loverboy and
Who Wants to Live Forever.
Who Wants to Live Forever, right? And then Cheshire Chord Company did like a Liverpool set.
Yes,
I guess so. There was like a Beatles medley, which was a little plug for a British arranger. It was arranged by Nick Bryant,
who never heard
PhD pending. So he arranged a Beatles medley for Cheshire Chord Company, and then of course they did You'll Never Walk Alone, which apparently the Americans don't realise that how deeply connected to Liverpool that song is.
No,
but they managed to.
But Ringmasters sang it, so that's
yeah.
And I don't know if Ringmasters know how deeply connected it is to Liverpool either. So
no, it's just it's from a musical originally, right? Like
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's a musical theatre song,
but big fat
both Labs choruses did really well. Lux a cappella, as we mentioned, the first mixed Babs chorus to go to International.
Yep.
Which is very cool, and big chorus. They were big at Babs. They're always big when they come to Babs.
82.
Over 80 singers.
Yeah, 82.
Yeah, brilliant. And did an absolutely cracking job as well, scoring in the 80s as well. So 80s all round for Lux a cappella.
Also doing an arrangement by
another Nick Bryant arrangement. Yeah,
who's
another
this
Nick
guy?
Bryant arrangement.
Wow.
I can't remember. I think Nick had at least 3 arrangements sung on the international stage this year, if not more. So very cool. Oh yeah, because the Light Fantastic did another of Nick's arrangements. The Light Fantastic being a mixed quartet from Labs, who again scored over 80. We also had Hot Ticket from Labs mixed quartet, who got 79ish, nearly 80. We did really, really well. Was that their highest score at International?
Yes, it's the highest score at International. Yeah, I don't think it's
not the highest score ever, but the highest score at International, which is cool. And then from Babs we had Fifth Element, who did amazing. Like this blew my mind with Fifth Element, because Fifth Element scored 82 something,
82.4.
Yeah, which makes them, I think, maybe the highest scoring Babs quartet at International.
Oh yeah,
maybe ever.
Yeah.
But came 24th.
I've got a spreadsheet for this.
Yeah, with a score that would usually comfortably put you in the semi-finals. Like 2 years ago, Limelight came 22nd or something with an 81 something. So,
82.6 was 21st.
Yeah,
That was the cut-off
yeah.
this year. 82.6.
Really, it's like unbelievably high. Again, for the semi-finals, like unbelievably high scores. I was saying in the, I think it was in the podcast with Simon, that the semi-finals this year is kind of wide open because like 7 of the quartets who sang in the semi-finals in 2024
Yes.
were not returning for
Correct.
the contest in 2025.
You
So there were basically 7
you had
open
no
spots.
Praxis,
Yeah.
a bunch of people would.
No Sweet and Sour, like loads of quarters. But
the ladies
the
weren't there.
The ladies.
So
the slots were just filled up immediately with so many good quartets.
yeah, some bomb stuff.
Including, of course, the wonderful Charleville Blues
my
from
God.
Labs, who kind of surprised themselves, but nobody else, because we all know how good they are. But they became only the second ever British quartet to get in the BHS semi-finals.
Yep.
And the first British mixed quartet to do that.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing. So, congratulations to them. There's a video doing the rounds on Facebook of their reactions when it was announced that they were going to be singing the semi-finals, and it's like
The reaction
dreams come true, isn't it?
in the room was bonkers, because obviously they were sat with
Yeah.
all of Cheshire, and
Yeah.
they sang third, so they were called out third, which when there are
Yeah.
still 17 competitors to go, you have to sort of keep your composure a little bit and like
Until
clap
it's finished,
along and
yeah.
be polite and whatever. But yeah, they were and again, I completely agree with you, Peter. I think the only 4 people who didn't think that the Charleville Blues were going to make the semi-finals were the Charleville Blues.
Yeah.
And they were like, what are we going to sing? I'm like, guys, just sing Jazz Ladies and get it over with. And then they didn't,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, fine.
What we're doing?
Yeah, come on, guys. But also, whilst we're talking about the semi-finals, I do also want to draw some attention to our European neighbours, the Hillbillies. Now, Hillbillies going in, I believe, were seeded like 49th or something. I don't think they've maybe scored over 80 like once, if not never before. And they got into the semi-final. And
With a replacement baritone.
with a replacement baritone, who does happen to be a member of the AIC, but with a
there is
replacement
that.
baritone, neither here nor there. So they'd had like 3 or 4 rehearsals, and yeah, made it to semi-finals. And like, I think so. Henrik Rosenberg, who has been involved with Snobs forever,
Yeah.
with Hillbillies forever, he was in a Babs/Snobs quartet, Space Goats. In fact, I think he's competed in a couple of Babs competitions actually.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's very big in Swedish Barbershop. But yeah, never made the semi-finals before, and was obviously
So cool.
absolutely, over the moon. So it was a good semi-finals.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a great semi-finals. Like quartets who have come in the top 10 before were placing like 17th. Which just kind of shows the quality of the whole thing.
Absolutely, just
talking very specifically about the core there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Alistair's favourite quartet.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah, and then of course, while we're doing British quartets, they are so Ami Quartet, who we love. Ami Quartet officially, formally representing. Well, I guess they were called out as representing Babs. But they are a Babs quartet and a Labs quartet because they're a mixed quartet, but they competed in the Babs Youth Quartet contest, which of course is open.
Trying to explain this to David Wright when he was over at Babs was
he
was like, so what's going on here? This doesn't make any sense to me.
Great question, David. We're working on it.
But yeah, so you are entirely right. They won the Babs Youth contest, which but then I think as well, they now represent Labs because they are now a mixed quartet entering into the Labs competition. But theoretically, I think much like our contest, the varsity contest or the next gen contest in America, you also don't have to be a member of any organization.
Yeah, it's just open and you send a video.
So theoretically, they could be representing Babs or if they could represent whoever they want. To be fair, they could be representing no one.
I think it would be lovely to say that they are jointly representing Babs and Labs because I think they are. Like we both organisations have a stake in Ami Quartet and both organisations love them a lot. And they came fourth. They got a fourth place bronze medal in the International Varsity Quartet contest, which makes them, I think, the third British quartet to get a medal.
Yes, we're only missing
the Varsity Quartet contest.
Third place bronze and gold.
And champs.
Yes.
Yeah, because Tagline got silver
Robbed.
Tagline got silver in 2018, which we're still upset about because they should have won.
Yeah.
And then Breakfast Club came fifth in 2023.
Correct.
And then Ami came fourth this year. So we're doing really well actually in the Youth Quartet contest at International. It's very good.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Ami. Congratulations to all of the British groups at International. It was great British representation.
We haven't missed anybody.
As we are.
Please don't say we've missed.
I have the list in front of me,
okay,
and I am
check.
confident that we've not missed anyone. So yes. Congratulations to everyone. Honestly, it was such a great British representation in such a high-scoring international in general.
Yeah.
Like this international was so high-scoring that the BHS have just increased the quartet qualifying score by 3%. Because everyone's too good.
%.
Yeah. They were just getting because previously the qualifying score for international quartets was 78, and basically, obviously, there's a lot of complications around how alliance organisations work and all the rest of it. But basically, the rule is you have to score 78 in order to qualify international if you're a quartet. And this year for the 2025 international, something like 80 quartets achieved the qualifying score.
Yes.
And 65 of them ultimately ended up.
Yeah.
Singing,
it's a bit of a
competing.
Obviously it's a bit of an anomalous year in this fact that you had European Convention, which because you had European Convention and because European Convention is full of Scandinavians, you obviously had a bunch of people hitting the qualifying score and then not necessarily going, because you know, as we were saying on the podcast last time, that there's something in the water in Scandinavia, and they're very, very good. But you are right.
And British groups as well, Alistair.
Yeah, okay. And British groups as well, sure. Okay. No, and British groups as well. Like you say, we're in a position where, how many British groups at Europeans hit that qualifying score?
Yeah.
Like 8, and the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confident in saying that there are at least 10 quartets in the UK who are singing at the level that would have qualified them for international under the previous.
Like you say, there are at least 10 active quartets right now that could roll out of bed and get a 78.
Yeah.
I think that's entirely true.
Yeah.
I am not entirely confident of saying that there are 10 quartets that could roll out of bed and get an 81.
Yeah,
there are
the
10
new,
quartets.
the new qualifying
there
score.
are 10 quartets in the UK that could put the work in, put a shift in, and get an 81. And some of them have done that in the past, and some of them have come very close to that in the past. But it is, put it this way, as a reference, someone did the maths on this. It's like if that had been in place for this international, 35 quartets would have got through. Like you'd have had 35 quartets go in. However,
as opposed to 65, which we actually have.
Correct. But I think what this does then mean is, because what has always been in the system, but hasn't necessarily been utilised in a while, is wildcards. So what will then happen is everyone who scores over 81 will automatically be entered into the competition. Brilliant, that's great. And then they will go down from quartets that got close to that mark and invite them as wildcards.
Yeah, until it's filled up.
Until it's filled up. Because a BHS quartet contest needs a minimum of 50 participants.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so like realistically, there will be like at least 10 wildcard spots for quartets who don't.
Yeah, because again, every district and every alliance gets one automatic nomination. And then everyone who scores over 81 gets one automatic nomination. There's a really fun conversation on Facebook about it, where Steve Armstrong and Steve Tremack are disagreeing about the number of quartets that would have qualified this year. Someone had it at 34, someone had it at 37, but that's because of district nominations, so that would bump up the numbers. So, yeah.
Okay, so we will still have 50 quartets at International.
Correct.
At
least 50 quartets.
Yeah. But yeah, the sort of qualifying score for yes, you are definitely going up to 81, which is and
then
big.
There's also the new Rock'em Sock'em singing round, which I don't know if you've read about the details of.
No, explain.
Well, so if you score between 78 and 81, you will get the opportunity to attend what BHS are calling the sing-in, which is going to be a separate event hosted at convention, presumably on the first day. We don't know any details about this yet.
Right.
Where the top 2 scoring groups from that little mini contest will be invited into the finals, the quarterfinals.
Oh, right, okay. So like it's like another chance to like
It's like a final. Yeah, it's almost like a quartet octa-final. I don't know what's an eighth of finals. Like
okay, or like a second chance at qualifying. That's interesting.
Yes,
that'll be interesting to see how that works. Yeah, that could be fun. Cool.
So it's all change.
Yeah,
it's
and
all
then
exciting.
It is all change, and then of course for the 2027 International, the chorus qualifying score is changing as well, right?
Yeah, it's going to 81. Also 81.
81.
But
it was 80 before,
80,
right?
So
that's not as big a change.
No. Again, I think as far as looking at this year's convention, looking at the scores, because again, everybody gets a district rep. So looking down the list, there are only 2 choruses on this list that... Oh, actually, that's kind of amusing now looking at the list. There are only 2 choruses that scored between 80 and 81 this year, and they were the Dream Chorus, which is a BHS initiative which will happen regardless if it continues to happen, and the Lockers, who are the Japanese barbershop chorus who were invited at the behest of the BHS CEO. So
very good. Okay.
Yeah. Who were...
Yeah.
So... Whilst
Tell me
I've
about the
mentioned
Japanese. Yeah. This was so cool.
Absolutely bonkers. So Japan had its first barbershop convention earlier last year, and at the end of it, Steve Tonino, the then CEO of the BHS, announced that the winners of the quartet contest and the chorus contest would get an invitation to BHS. So that was the Vagabonds and the Lockers. Vagabonds being the quartet, Lockers being the chorus. And the reception they got from everybody all week was phenomenal. Like, I have never seen a group before get a standing ovation before singing. And it happened for the Lockers. Like, as they were coming on stage, they got a standing ovation. And then the song they sang. So they sang Cheap Trick, I Want You to Want Me.
Yeah.
Which I then got this lore from Bethany, my wife, afterwards. Apparently, the reason why I Want You to Want Me is such a big song is because of Japan. It was like it was like a B-side, not really very well thought out track. Like no one was really paying much attention to it, and then they played it in their studio tour in their concert tour in Japan, and they went absolutely wild for it. And it's now like an anthem in Japan. I Want You to Want Me, and yeah, that's why then they sang it, and it was
excellent,
phenomenal,
and it was very good.
And very, very good, very, very fun.
Outstanding. Yeah, Japanese barbershop is a thing. It's very good.
What else do I need to make passing reference to while I'm still here?
Well, the winners of the contests we should call out. So the winners of the youth quartet contest was a quartet called Radiant, who are the first women to win anything at BHS, which is cool. By win anything, I mean come get the
Big
gold medal.
champions.
We've had female medalists before,
Yes,
but they are
medals.
the first champion
Very, very good
women
Yeah.
in the BHS, and they were very good. So congratulations to Radiant. The chorus contest was won, and this was poignant and special actually. The chorus contest was won by the vocal majority, and there were two reasons why this was poignant and special. Reason number one is because 2025 is the 50th anniversary of them winning their first international gold medal, which would have been in 1975, if my maths is correct.
Yep,
So
and they had
50 years on.
5 singers on stage who were there for that win.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Bearing in mind, I think one of those was
then...
Greg Clancy, who was like 10 at the time. But
and
another one was Jay Butterfield, who I think is also like not old at the time. But because he's
so
not
must
old
have been, must
now.
have been very young, yeah.
So yeah. But yeah,
that's amazing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, vocal majority won 50 years ago and won again in their 50th anniversary. But the other reason why their win this year is so poignant and I guess important to a lot of people in the barbershop world is because, of course, earlier this year we lost Jim Clancy, who passed away. Jim, basically, I think he founded the vocal majority. Basically, he was sort of their founding director. Directed them for pretty much like 40 years or something, nearly 40 years. Obviously, won several international gold medals with them, and his son Greg now directs the chorus. And Greg, during their sort of swan song package, I guess, well, not their swan song, their like acceptance performance, said something about Jim, and one of the things he said was the vocal majority is the house that Jim built, is the phrase that he used, which I thought was a really nice way to put it. Like it's the vocal majority is Jim Clancy to so many people, and of course Jim had influence like. Beyond the vocal majority, he was a prolific arranger. Like I'm pretty sure every barbershopper alive will at some point probably have come across or even sung a Jim Clancy arrangement.
Yeah.
He was a very prolific arranger, a big coach, and just a very, very wonderful man. And as I say, he passed away earlier this year, and I think it was never really said out loud, but everyone was thinking about Jim during their contest performance.
Yeah, almost.
And they, I'm absolutely sure they will feel like they have done him proud with their win and their performance. So, yes, congratulations to the vocal majority on their win 50 years after their first one. That was a big one.
And I do remember you saying to me, I think actually it may have been on the first when we were having this conversation when I was previously on, you said there is no streaming or microphone system that can convey the sound of the vocal majority properly. And
yeah. Oh, this was your first time seeing them live, was it?
It was indeed, because they've not actually been at a convention since 2018.
No. Which was when I saw them.
Yeah. And they had 146 singers on stage. I timed it. It took them 3.5 minutes to load onto the risers. And yeah, how 146 people can sound like as quiet as they can is bonkers. Like it's just, but I've heard quartets try and be quiet, and these 146 singers were somehow quieter than a quartet being quiet.
Their dynamic range is astonishing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very good.
And yeah, like the match and the lock and ring and the dynamic range and everything just cannot be captured by any recording setup that reasonably exists. Like seeing the vocal majority live is an experience that cannot be recreated.
I think that is correct.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree. Because I too, before I saw them live, I too was a vocal majority skeptic. I was like, yeah, they sound great, but like Westminster sound cleaner and more exciting and brighter. And then you see them live and you're like, oh no, I get it now.
Yeah. And one final thing on the chorus contest before we move on to talk about the quartet contest. Pacific Connection. So Pacific Connection are a chorus from New Zealand. And literally, I'm getting goosebumps even before I've described it. They did a Moana medley, which is again, so Moana as a film is all about like Polynesian culture and heritage and so on. And I have never experienced or witnessed a more genuine, authentic performance on a barbershop stage in my entire life. Like, when those videos are released, I would compel everyone to go and witness that because, again, like I told when Brits were coming up to me, like in the days before, you know, just around the convention, saying, "Oh, who do I need to go see? Who do I?" I was always saying, like, Pacific Connection are one you should probably go and witness at least once because it's a whole different thing, and it really, really is. And then they came third, and that was brilliant. It was just brilliant. It was to watch them celebrate. They did a haka in the crowd when they got their medals,
Whoa.
which was again just like spine-tinglingly good. So yes, no, I'd recommend everybody go watch that performance. That was really, really good.
Pacific Connection are amazing because they somehow manage to perfectly blend barbershop into their own culture.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't feel crowbarred, it doesn't feel forced, it's so perfect. And I think that Moana medley got the highest performance score of the week, didn't it?
Yeah, 98.2.
Quite right, because I was watching on the stream, and it was sensational to watch. And I think this makes them the first chorus not from North America or Sweden to medal, right?
Yes.
Because like 08 have medalled
Northern
once or
Stars
twice, a
have
few
medalled.
times. Northern Stars have medalled, of course, from Sweden as well. And of course, Toronto Northern Lights have several medals from Canada. But I think this is a new country.
Correct.
with a BHS Chorus Gold medal, which is cool.
Country with the BHS Chorus medal, which is exciting. Yeah.
Very cool. So,
Barbershop's
getting more international.
And speaking of Barbershop getting more international.
Speaking of the Scandinavians,
after not being the 2016 BHS International Gold Medal Quartet, they are now the 2025 International Quartet Champions were, in fact, Lemon Squeezy. And you were saying some really good stuff about Lemon Squeezy, again, on the last podcast, of, like, they started with, getting, like, what, mid-70s? The high 70s?
Like 71, I think, is their first contest score, yeah.
And they just won BHS with a 93.9 overall average.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the trick is you just need to get 4 new members and change parts 3 times, and then you'll
change members on a cadence of 1 every 2 years, roughly.
It is quite literally, if at first you don't succeed, make some changes and then see what happens, and it works. So
yeah, it's not like a Triggers Broom situation, though, is it? Because 2 of the original members are still in the quartet.
Martin is still in the quartet, and Martin is still on the same part. That's the only thing about it which is consistent throughout. There's a really fun graphic I've seen where it chops and changes.
Yeah, but Victor at various points has sung lead and tenor, and actually Victor sang lead and tenor in this contest.
He did.
I think they're probably one of the only champion quartets where people have sung different voice parts in the contest. I think Ringmasters maybe did it as well, potentially.
Swedes.
The Swedes, but yes, and their final set was just unbelievable.
So
They did.
stupid.
It was very stupid. They did like Popular from Wicked, which is obviously very like current and topical and popular at the moment.
So and again, for those who don't know who Lemon Squeezy are, first off, I sincerely compel you to find out who Lemon Squeezy are, and you'll thank me about it later. But the lead, Victor, has very long, very well manicured hair. So
it's beautiful. It's very straight.
It's very, very. It's almost like waist length. So he is able to perfectly emulate the Ariana Grande
the toss
situation, which was very funny and incredibly well executed. But then 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 they did a song.
But then,
Yeah. So if so there is a song in a musical called The Book of Mormon, which is called The All-American Prophet, which is a story about how Mormonism was founded and the story that led up to. And they did a parody version of this called The Scandinavian Quartet, which was all about ringmasters and the secret sauce, and O.C. Cash was in the song at some point, and they flew on the wings of O.C. Cash, and then ringmasters died in the song, which I guess that's canon now.
Protecting the sauce.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but it was something else. It was a
very
trip.
good.
It was an absolute trip, but it was very,
and the
very
singing
good.
was so good as well.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about it is you just kind of forget you're listening to a singing contest, and then they come back to it at the end and do like a big the tag, and you're like, oh wait, no, these guys actually sing really, really good, and I was not distracted at all.
The singing is just absolutely outstanding in this comedy song. Just if you are listening and you haven't heard the Book of Mormon and you think haven't heard of the Book of Mormon and you think, maybe I'll look into the Book of Mormon. Don't see the Book of Mormon unless you know what you're getting into.
No, don't let your children listen to the Book of Mormon. Unless you've listened to it first.
It's written by the people who make South Park, right?
Correct. Yes.
It's really
So
it's
just expect that kind of humor.
Expect that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, clearly, this Barbershop contest is a family-friendly affair. So this parody was family friendly, but it was absolutely hilarious. And congratulations to Lemon Squeezy. The BHS early access YouTube thing that they're doing, where you can pay a bit of money to get early access to the videos. They just released Lemon Squeezy's semi-finals set, which includes
Only One Road,
an arrangement. An arrangement by their lead Victor. /tenor of Celine Dion's Only One Road, which again, absolutely outstanding.
It's very Dennis Waterman of him, that, isn't it? Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. Yeah, it's just I'm going to make an arrangement. It's for me, and I'm going to sing it. It's for me.
Yeah,
love that.
And it's interesting actually as well, because this quartet contest, I think I'm right in saying that Lemon Squeezy they went into the finals in second place.
Correct. Yes.
And Gimme 4 were actually in first place after the first two rounds.
Correct.
And Lemon Squeezy managed to get them in the final
What
round.
is also interesting is looking at Lemon Squeezy's score sheet now is, I believe, 5 of their 6 songs were arranged by Swedes.
That's cool.
So it's like a homegrown arrangement.
Love that.
Arrangers thing.
What was the one song that wasn't?
You and the Night and the Music, which is Aaron Dale.
Very good. Of course it's Aaron Dale.
Yeah.
Obviously. Excellent. So yes, congratulations to everyone who did things, and particularly everyone who won things at International. It was. I think this was the best quartet finals I've seen for quite some time.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Yeah.
In a quartet finals where Smoke Ring come 10th and the Newfangled Four come 8th, the standard is high.
Yeah, I think it was. I think that was the thing about it going in. I think it was just not. It was not easy to know. I think the last 2 contests, and people can fight me on this, but the last 2 contests, 3.5 Men were obviously winning, and Midtown were obviously winning. That was that. And actually, no, I lied. The last 3 contests, because Quorum were also obviously winning. They got 94 at prelims. We sort of already knew the champions going in. I don't think we did with this one. It was
it was much less on the cards.
Yeah, and full effect, man. You came 4th.
My God,
where have they come from?
They're so good.
Yeah, they really can ring chords. I just wish they'd smile more.
They are a bunch of young ringers.
Yeah.
As Joey Buss.
Please have some fun.
Off of the Newfangled Four, aptly, yeah.
Just a little bit.
No, to be fair, they did attempt comedy in the quartet finals last year, and it was fine.
Yeah, but they're not. It's enough.
They're very good at singing.
They are very good at singing.
Very, very, very good at singing.
They are very good at singing. Okay, cool. That's it. I think we've talked about... So on this podcast, brought to you by the British Association of Barbershop Singers.
Yeah, we've just done 40 minutes on another association's convention.
Cool.
But it's very important because it all trickles down, doesn't it? All of this
down.
stuff. It's all very important, and I think particularly this year is important because of the what am I trying to say? The accomplishments of non-American groups.
Correct.
I think is a source of inspiration for us.
Yeah.
Like, we are slowly breaking out of the idea that the Americans are the best at Barbershop.
Yeah, it's the third time in the BHS's nearly 90-year history that a non-American quartet has won the International Quartet Contest.
Yeah, 2 from Sweden and 1 from New Zealand.
Yeah, so...
And everybody else has been American.
Pretty wild when you put the numbers.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We are working on it.
We're
getting there. So, yes, let's move on. Let's bring it back home a little bit. We were going to go chronologically, weren't we?
Yeah, so that's budget and planning and stuff like that, right? And
all a little bit of like Babs admin stuff.
Babs admin, if you will.
So yeah, I think that the way that we maybe contextualise this is that over the last 6 months or so, Babs has been sort of running a big a couple of big consultation surveys.
Yes.
On very specifically on convention and how contests run.
Correct.
And all the rest of it. And a lot of the decisions that we were making at our budget and planning meeting in July were kind of based on
the outcomes
results of
those consultations.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, do you want to get into it? What did we talk about?
Yeah, so I think just the key things that I want to sort of flag here is, obviously, I know, first off, we want to thank everyone who participated in those consultations. So I think we had, if you include the chorus results and sort of average out roughly how many members each of those choruses had and maybe how many people participated, in the one about convention, we had about 650 responses, which is about 30% of our overall membership, which is, I think, more than we anticipated. Obviously, it's not 100% of the membership.
It's not everyone,
but we'll never
getting everyone to respond to that. Yeah,
exactly.
No,
so it's still a pretty good mechanism to go on. We will be talking about our plans for what the outcome of those the outcome of those consultations produced at the Awesome Members meeting, which is coming up in about 5 weeks' time, on the 20th, whatever the Saturday is, he says, looking at the calendar, the 21st of September, and your council members will be getting some papers in advance, an advance copy 4 weeks before, and then the full papers 2 weeks before. So this is my plea to anyone listening to the podcast who either who's in a club and doesn't either know who their council member is, or who is a council member and hasn't told me that that's the case, just to make sure that your council members are all in check. There is a form on the website where your club committee can nominate council members, and that comes straight through to me, and then I will make sure that is updated so they are all communicated to appropriately ahead of time. But yeah, there will be a couple of things coming down the track, and yeah, it was a really exciting meeting that we had up in Sheffield a couple of months ago. Yeah, and I am positive and hopeful for the future of the organisation. I think we're in a good place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that I mean, it's a bit cryptic, but like we think as trustees it's very important that our elected representatives on the council have important information first. So like, I don't want us to pre-announce anything on this podcast.
That's not how this is going.
So, which is why we're being a little bit like
correct,
coy and not forthcoming with information. But like that, we will have some announcements to make at the Awesome Members meeting, and of course it will all be shared with all of the members and publicly on social media and stuff at the appropriate times after that as well. But our governance structures require us to tell the council when we make big decisions. So that's quite right. So, but yeah, thank you. It was very, very informative actually running those consultations. And as I said I think it was when Calvin was last on talking about consultations, clearly this was a big organised exercise to gather feedback, but we don't want folks to see this as the end of your opportunity to provide feedback.
No.
We constantly want to know what people think about things. And the most appropriate way to do that is, regrettably, not by leaving comments on Facebook posts.
Correct.
Because they might get missed, and stuff on social media is very difficult to pass through, and it's difficult to find, and we might miss it, and it might be whatever. Social media is not a great feedback route for anyone, not just for us. Emailing us is the best way of getting your feedback to us.
True, but on that, again, just something which I do want to just flag more generally is like following the break that we had at the beginning of June. I think we all sort of realised on the board that we were perhaps treating this role too much like a second job, which was an unsustainable position for us to be in. So if you do email a member of the board, it may be a couple of days or even a few days in some circumstances before someone gets back to you. We have got your email. We are looking at it. It will just take us a couple of days to get back to you. Because what we've now effectively, as you'll slowly start to see from people's out of office replies, is maybe people are only going to be working on certain days within the week, and then they will reply on those days, and we'll make sure that you get a reply.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's really important for board members to maintain those boundaries quite strictly, because it would be very easy to say I won't do any actual work, but I'll still have my emails on just in case. But that's a boundary broken, and it does impact other things when you feel like you're always on.
Yes, I agree.
And always receiving stuff. I think that's going to be a really good move for the board. I think it's going to help them focus and compartmentalise a bit more. Yeah. So yes, thank you for your understanding on that.
And speaking of a really good move for the board, finally getting rid of Peter.
I know.
No. But yes, that was also a change which is occurring is after 6 years, which in this current climate is basically an eternity.
I'm currently the second most senior board member after Shanna, so by longevity.
You've outlasted 3 prime ministers,
2
monarchs.
Yeah, it was 2019 when I joined the board. So Boris Johnson was prime minister. We hadn't had COVID yet.
Yeah. Queen Elizabeth was still on the throne.
Queen Elizabeth was still around.
We still had we were still dealing with the Donald Trump presidency. Oh wait, no, hang on.
We were actually.
No,
it was coming towards the end of the first of round 1.
Yeah, and now here we are.
So
yes. Peter, 6 years, man.
I know.
You'll never get that time back.
It's been big.
No, I'm joking.
I won't.
Have
I wouldn't ask for
you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, actually, I have, and I'm glad you asked. So I joined when I joined the board. I was 24 years old, which at the time made me. I know.
That's wild.
Which made me at the time the youngest board member. I'm not anymore. I think you and Calvin both beat me when you joined. Oh no, because you're older than me.
Yes.
So that doesn't make sense.
That does not make sense.
Calvin beat me when he joined.
That makes sense.
And I joined as director of membership at the time, and then in 2023 I switched over to do marketing. I have enjoyed it. I'm not gonna cover it in blossom and roses, because it has been difficult and stressful at times. I think the thing that I've struggled with the most actually is that I wish I just had more time to to do it. You know, I wish we did get paid for it, and I wish that, you know, it wasn't something that I had to do in my spare time, because I think there are quite a few things that I wish I could have done that I just never had time or brain space to do. Right.
Yeah.
And that has been a source of frustration, because like a lot of the time when people write in and they say, why haven't you done this? Like, it'd be a really great idea to do this. Like, could we do this? It's like, yeah, we would definitely do this if we were doing this full time or even part time. And we just had those resources and that time. But I have really, really enjoyed it. It's such a great like group of people, and it's a great thing to be working on. Like, I feel such a sense of purpose as a part of the board that I've never ever felt in the same way at a real place of work. You know, like it's a really worthwhile mission to contribute to and drive forward. So yes, it's been very, very fulfilling. But yeah, 6 years, I feel like I've done my time, and
I think that's fair.
I'm moving on to other things.
What are you gonna do?
More singing.
Oh, that's nice.
Basically, yeah, more singing. I want to be. Limelight are aiming higher than ever.
Nice.
Particularly now that we have to score A21 to go to international again, so we have to be comfortably scoring in the A level, not just singing the A level by accident once in a while, which is kind of what we've been doing. So spend a bit more time on that.
A level by accident.
A level by accident. Yeah, it would not work if they were not good.
But came out and score 65.
Yeah.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm gonna spend more time with my family. Got married this year, so hopefully that'll be nice. I'm sure it will be nice, and more time with my choruses as well. Getting back to doing some more singing.
I like it. And then we'll round off with what has been your favourite thing. No, not favourite. That's What are you most proud of about what you have done on the board?
I think a couple of things. I think the 50th anniversary convention was such a big lift from so many people. We did it without a director of events. We did it with like a board that realistically lots of them had only been in place I'd only been in place in my role for 6 months.
Yep.
As I'd had a handful of other people on the team.
Yep.
It was a very, very big lift.
To also do a convention that wasn't like an ordinary convention. It was like a convention on steroids. And
we set ourselves a challenge of making it the biggest, like one of the biggest conventions we've ever had. At a time when like money was tight and we were very conscious of like overspending. I think despite so many constraints and challenges and difficulties, I think the 50th anniversary convention was outstanding, and I had so much fun. And I was actually, I can probably say this now, I was actually thinking before that convention that I might like step down from the board after that convention. But
same.
I was so
100% same.
I was so filled with positivity and energy after that weekend and after that event was so successful and so enjoable.
I'm pretty confident I'd already handed in my resignation. And then rescinded.
And then you
handing
turned
in my resignation because I was like,
because it was so good.
Barbershop's brilliant.
It was so good.
Barbershop's really good.
Yeah.
Let's do more. Let's do more Barbershop.
Yeah, it was really outstanding. So yeah, very, very, very proud of that. On a slightly small scale, I'm actually quite proud of this podcast. It's this is, I think this is the one like brand new thing that I've brought in to marketing stuff. Everything else has been sort of continuation of important things, but ultimately like things that were already in place. This is my baby.
I like it.
And I hope it continues with whoever's next. I don't know who's going to be next as marketing director.
It could be you,
it's a very fun
listener.
Job. It could be you, dear listener. Yeah.
But seriously,
do
dear
send
listener,
me a message
if it could be you, that would be great.
Fun.
Actually, thanks.
Yeah, like if you have done social media for your chorus, that more than qualifies you to do this job. Like, frankly, I was doing this with absolutely no experience in marketing at all.
You could tell. No, I'm joking.
Thanks. Yeah. Just learning things on the fly.
And you'll have an awful lot of support from everyone on the board.
I'm not going to disappear off the face of the earth either. Like, I'll be.
Peter will still be at Barbershop conventions as
I will exist. Yeah. I will continuously, to the chagrin of many,
to
exist.
Be present.
Yeah. But no, thank you for letting me do a bit of reflection.
You're welcome.
That's nice.
Anytime.
Yeah.
But also never again.
But never again.
Yep.
Yeah. That was my one opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shall we wrap it up?
I think that's a good.
With a couple of plugs. Plug number one, again, as we just mentioned, there are some open volunteering roles on the team. We've got 2 director vacancies. We've got events and marketing. And there are other ways that folks can help as well. You can go into singbarbershop.com/volunteer to find out what's going on with that, and get in touch. As I say, like, most people, when they're asked, "Oh, do you have a fancy volunteering?" will say, "Oh no, I just don't have time." That's never stopped me and Alistair. We've never had time for any of this, and we manage. So if you've got skills and experience, please do chat to us. And then the second plug is enter a quartet in prelims.
Yes.
Which is happening in November. It's going to be in the Midlands. Precise venue to be confirmed, but all the dates and all the information are on the website. If you are a youth quartet, you can be of any gender. If you're a seniors quartet, you can be of any gender. Those are open contests. If you're a youth quartet, you don't even have to be a BABS member to enter the youth quartet contest. So that's a completely open thing. I know.
We're just giving it away.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the National Male Quartet Contest as well. The top scoring groups from prelims in those 3 categories, so youth, senior, and overall national, go through to the next round at convention in Harrogate next year.
I will also say, if you are thinking of registering a quartet for prelims and you haven't already, that this year we are introducing at prelims for the first time, I believe, some on-site coaching opportunities. And because of that, we are having to shorten the length of prelims, and therefore we are limiting the number of quartet entries that we are able to accept. So, if you are thinking of entering a quartet in prelims and have gone, oh, well, yeah, we'll fill it in at some point, I would strongly encourage you to fill it in and this be the some point that you do that, because you may not get
the places will run out
to do that. Yeah. So I think there are only a few places remaining, so just be mindful of that.
Yeah, we feel like we've provided ample space. There are more spaces than we had quartets last year.
Correct.
However, that doesn't necessarily the number of quartets entering prelims really does fluctuate year on year. So don't take it for granted that there'll be a spot for you. Get yourself registered, and we'll see you in November at prelims. It's very exciting. And subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. You can go to singbarbershop.com/podcast.
How many subscribers
find
do we
all
have?
the links? Oh, we'll never know, because that's not how podcasts work.
I see. Okay.
Podcasts are distributed using the beautiful RSS standard, which is wonderful and interoperable, but doesn't provide analytics. So we will never know.
Number 1 in the podcast charts.
Absolutely, yeah. We are one spot above The Rest Is Politics with Alistair Campbell and Rory Stewart.
Yeah, we're basically the same.
We are. absolutely. I'm obviously Rory Stewart.
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe not politically, but certainly personality-wise.
And on that note...
On that odd note, thanks for listening, everyone. It's much appreciated. This might be my last one, so thank you. And see you all again very soon. Thanks, Alistair.
Thanks, Peter. Goodbye.
Bye.